The shadow beneath the numbers, a flame in the dark. The Stanford classroom pulsed with a suffocating tension beneath the cool, 60-degree Fahrenheit night, the fog pressing thick against the high windows as the October darkness of Tuesday, October 21st, 2025, deepened into a shroud of shadow. It was just past 8:20 p.m., the vast hall's tiered wooden seats standing silent, the faint glow of a single bulb casting jagged shadows across the polished floor, where the echoes of Elon Musk's earlier triumph had long faded into a haunting stillness. The air hung heavy with the scent of chalk dust, mingling with the dampness seeping through the cracks. A quiet hum thrumming beneath the silence. A hum that carried the weight of a mystery surging to life. 2,000 miles from the cafe where Jolie had re-entered Elon's world 3 days ago. 54 years from Pretoria nights that had shaped him. Elon stood near the chalkboard, his hoodie taut against his shoulders, silver hair catching the dim light as he faced Victor Grayson, the late 40s figure looming in the doorway, jacket worn from pursuit, eyes cold and sharp as they glinted with menace. The journal rested in Elon's hand, its pages open to Joshua's 54-year-old note. The shadow waits beneath. A riddle now pulsing with danger as Victor's voice cut through the stillness moments ago. 54 years, 2,000 miles, 36 crashed, stars, power, hours. Beside Elon, Jolie stood resolute, her 85-year-old frame steady despite the tremble in her hands, silver hair spilling from a worn scarf as she clutched a small folded cloth, a keepsake from their past, her warm yet piercing eyes locked on Victor, a quiet fire burning through her frail form. Victor stepped forward, boots heavy against the floor, the crumpled sketch trembling faintly in his grip. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow stirring, a grin cold and unyielding spreading across his face as he brandished it, the lines a riddle pulsing with intent. 36 crashed, 54 years silent, stars, power, hours, he repeated, voice low, a spark of menace igniting in his gaze, the radio in his pocket crackling with static. A whisper of a shadow he served, a thread pulling south. Coalition claims it, 2,000 miles south now, he added, boots firm, eyes narrowing as he advanced, the vast hall trembling with a weight that pressed against them. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars hiding secrets, a storm closing in. Elon's heart pounded, breath steadying as he faced Victor, journal clutched tight. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars whispering. A challenge he couldn't sidestep, a storm rising from the shadows. 2,000 miles, 54 years. What's this power, Victor? He asked, voice firm, eyes locking on the sketch. A riddle from 54 years ago, a shadow beneath. A thread now pulling him deeper, 2,000 miles from the cafe, 54 years from Pretoria nights. His stance was rooted, a calm forged in the classroom hours ago, where he'd turned Dr. James's scorn into triumph. A calm now tested by this new threat. A shadow he couldn't name but felt pressing closer. Jolie's breath caught, scarf slipping as she stepped forward. 85-year-old legs trembling then steadying, her voice rising above the hum. A quiet fire cutting through the fog. 2,000 miles, 54 years. Stars guided him, not you. I kept them, not yours, she said, words sharp and steady, a shield woven from Pretoria nights. 2,000 miles north, 54 years ago, a tale of a shadow guarding light she'd whispered to calm a boy of 6, now a beacon in this storm. Her hands clutched the cloth tighter, silver hair catching the faint light as she faced Victor, eyes burning with a resolve that defied her frail frame. 85 years of strength, 2,000 miles of vigil, a fire igniting against the darkness. Victor's grin faltered, boots pausing as he raised the sketch higher, radio crackling, a flicker of doubt crossing his cold eyes, a spark extinguished by her words. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars stirring, a threat wavering in the fog. You kept nothing. 4 years, 2,000 miles, 36, stars, power, hours, he growled, voice low, stepping closer, the sketch trembling in his grip, a riddle pulsing with intent, a shadow he served now pressing in. Master wakes it. 2,000 miles south now, he added, boots firm, eyes wild with a spark of menace. The vast hall trembling, the air thickening with a weight that pulsed through the stillness. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars hiding secrets, a storm tightening its grip. Elon moved, hoodie shifting as he stepped beside Jolie, journal steady. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars whispering. A quiet resolve burning through him, a strength forged in Pretoria nights and carried through decades. 54 years, 1,000 miles, a shadow beneath, a stand he couldn't abandon. 2,000 miles, 4 years. What's this master, Victor? He asked, voice steady, eyes narrowing. A challenge cutting through the fog, a thread pulling him deeper, a storm he faced with the calm that had silenced Dr. James earlier that day. A calm now, a shield against this shadow. Jolie's hand steadied, scarf falling to her shoulders as she stepped forward again, 85-year-old voice rising. A fire blazing through her words. A tale from 1985 Pretoria nights flooding back. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow stirring. A night Errol raged. A story she'd told to calm a boy of 6. A tale of a shadow guarding light now pulsing in her chest. 2,000 miles, 4 years, 36. Stars guided, not taken. 85. I kept him. What's yours? She said, voice trembling then firming, eyes locking on Victor. A quiet strength cutting through the fog. A resolve that burned through 54 years, 2,000 miles. A shield against the storm now pressing in. Victor's eyes flashed, boots shifting as he lunged forward, jacket rustling, the sketch trembling in his grip. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow beneath. A grin cold and wild spreading across his face. 54 years at 2,000 miles, 36. Stars hide power, give it, or the master wakes it. 2,000 miles south now, he snarled, voice low, a spark of menace igniting. The radio crackling, boots echoing from the stairwell. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars stirring, a tide of shadows closing in, a storm surging through the fog. He raised a hand, fingers twitching toward the sketch. A shadow he served, a power he sought. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars hiding secrets, a threat pulsing through the vast hall. Elon's heart raced, breath quickening as he stepped closer. Journal a quiet anchor. 2,000 miles, 4 years, stars whispering, a storm he couldn't escape, a shadow he couldn't name. 2,000 miles, 54 years, what's this power, Victor? He asked again, voice firm, eyes burning. A challenge cutting through the fog, a thread pulling him deeper, a stand forged in the calm that had carried him through. 54 years, 2,000 miles, stars guiding, a resolve now tested by this storm. Jolie moved, 85-year-old legs steady, scarf forgotten as she stepped before Victor, voice rising. A fire blazing through the fog, a tale from Pretoria nights surging through her. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow beneath. A story of stars guarding light, a shield now pulsing in her words. Beneath stars sleep. 2,000 miles, 54 years, 36. Stars guided, not taken. 85. I kept him, she said, voice firm, eyes shining. A code within her tale, a whisper from 54 years ago cutting through the storm. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars stirring. A strength that stalled Victor, a flicker of doubt crossing his wild eyes. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow beneath. What slept beneath? Victor faltered, boots pausing, radio crackling. A storm trembling in the fog. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars hiding. A shadow he served now wavering before her fire. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow stirring. A tide of boots echoing closer, a convergence tightening in the dark. The shadow beneath the numbers, racing the dark. The Stanford classroom quivered with a suffocating stillness beneath the cool 60-degree Fahrenheit night. the fog pressing thick against the high windows as the October darkness of Tuesday, October 21st, 2025, cloaked the vast hall in a shroud of shadow. It was just past 8:25 p.m., the tiered wooden seat standing empty, the faint glow of a single bulb casting jagged shadows across the polished floor, where the echoes of Jolie's brave stand against Victor Grayson still lingered. A stand that had stalled him with a tale from 54 years ago, a whisper of a shadow beneath, guarding light, a quiet fire burning through her 85-year-old resolve. The air hung heavy with the scent of chalk dust, mingling with the dampness seeping through the cracks, a quiet hum thrumming beneath the silence. A hum that pulsed with the weight of a mystery surging to life. 2,000 miles from the cafe where Jolie had re-entered Elon Musk's world 3 days ago. 54 years from Pretoria nights that had shaped him. Elon stood beside Jolie, his hoodie taut against his shoulders, silver hair catching the dim light as he faced Victor, the late 40s figure looming in the doorway, jacket worn from pursuit, eyes cold and sharp with menace. The journal rested in Elon's hand, its pages open to Joshua's 54-year-old note. The shadow waits beneath. A riddle now trembling with danger as Victor's voice echoed moments ago. 36 crashed. 54 years silent. Stars. Power. Hours. Jolie's scarf lay forgotten on the floor, her silver hair spilling free as she stood firm, 85-year-old hands steady after reciting her tale. 2,000 miles, 4 years, a shadow stirring. A tale from 1985 Pretoria nights when Errol's fury had raged. A story of stars guarding light that had steadied a boy of 6, now a shield against Victor's threat. Victor's boots shifted, the crumpled sketch trembling in his grip. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow beneath. A grin cold and wild spreading across his face as he'd lunged forward, only to falter under Jolie's words. Beneath stars sleep, 2,000 miles, 54 years, 36, stars guided not taken, 85, I kept him. Her voice had cut through the fog, a quiet fire stalling him, a flicker of doubt crossing his wild eyes. 2,000 miles, 4 years, stars stirring, a shadow he served wavering before her resolve. The radio in his pocket crackled, boots echoing from the stairwell. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow closing in. A tide of menace tightening the air, a storm surging through the fog. Elon's heart thudded, breath quickening as Victor retreated, boots fading into the stairwell, the sketch clutched tight. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars whispering, a storm he couldn't escape, a shadow he couldn't name. 2,000 miles south, Victor had snarled. Master wakes it, now. His voice a blade slicing through the stillness, a threat that twisted through the fog. 2,000 miles, 4 years, stars hiding secrets, a shadow pulling south. Elon turned to Jolie, journal steady in his hand. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow beneath. Eyes burning with a resolve forged in the classroom hours ago, a calm now tested by this storm. Jolie, 2,000 miles, 54 years. Beneath stars sleep. What south? He asked, voice firm, a thread pulling him deeper. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars guiding. A riddle he couldn't sidestep. Jolie's eyes shone. 85-year-old hands trembling, then steadying as she stepped closer. Silver hair catching the faint light. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow stirring. A memory surging through her. A tale from Pretoria nights now pulsing with intent. 2,000 miles south, 54 years. Beneath the earth, Nino, she said, voice low, a quiet fire cutting through the fog. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars whispering. A tale from 1985, a shadow guarding light she'd whispered to calm him, now a clue breaking through the stillness. Joshua wrote it. 2,000 miles, 54 years, beneath the earth, stars sleep. I kept it. 36 ended him, south stayed, she added, eyes locking on his, a fire burning through 85 years, 2,000 miles, a vigil now igniting this storm. Elon's breath caught, journal trembling as he traced her words. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow beneath. A memory sparking in his mind, a thread from 54 years ago. Pretoria, Joshua's lab, 2,000 miles south. A place sealed after his crash at 36, a whisper from beneath now stirring. South, 2,000 meters. Palo Alto's old physics lab, he said, voice quickening, eyes widening. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars hiding. A realization pulsing through him. A shadow beneath the campus. 54 years untouched since Joshua's collaborators had locked it away. 2,054 years, a shadow stirring. What waited beneath? Beneath the earth, 2,000 miles south. Here now, he added, turning to Jolie. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars guiding, a race igniting in the fog. Jolie nodded, 85-year-old hands steady. 2,000 miles, 4 years, a shadow beneath. A fire burning through her resolve. 2,000 miles, 54 years, beneath. Stars sleep. 36. Left it I kept you, Nino. Go, she said, voice firm, eyes shining. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars whispering. A tale now a beacon, a shield guiding them through this storm. Elon moved, hoodie rustling as he stepped toward the door. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow stirring. A race surging through the fog, a thread pulling him deeper. 2,000 miles south beneath the campus, a shadow beneath. What waited there? The hallway stretched dark and silent, fog cloaking the stairwell as they descended. Footsteps quick against the stone. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars hiding. A tide of urgency pulsing through them, the vast building trembling with the weight of what lay ahead. The air grew cooler, dampness seeping through as they reached the basement, the mathematics building's labyrinth unfolding. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow beneath. A maze of forgotten storage, shelves stacked high, a tomb of secrets stirring in the dark. Elon's breath quickened, journal clutched tight. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars whispering. A race against the abyss now surging through the fog. The basement sprawled before them, a 20-foot-deep vault of shadow. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow stirring. The air thick with dust and the faint hum of something alive. A pulse breaking through the stillness. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars hiding. A chamber untouched since 1901. A shadow beneath the campus now waking. Elon moved forward, footsteps echoing, eyes darting through the gloom. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow beneath. A thread pulling him deeper, a race surging through the fog. 2,000 miles south, beneath Palo Alto. What waited there? Jolie followed, 85-year-old legs steady. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow stirring. Scarf trailing as she moved, silver hair catching the faint light. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars whispering. A fire burning through her resolve, a tale from Pretoria nights now guiding them. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow beneath. A chamber pulsing with life, a shadow waking in the dark. The hum grew louder, a radiant glow flickering ahead. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars stirring. A larger starlight engine emerging, crude devices pulsing, a 36-year-old dream alive. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow beneath, a race tightening its grip. The radio crackled, Victor's voice cutting through. 2,000 miles, 54 years, a shadow stirring. Master sees. 2,000 miles south, midnight, a threat pulsing through the fog. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars hiding. A storm surging closer, a shadow beneath the abyss. 2,000 miles, 54 years, stars whispering. What waited there and who would reach it first?